Hello, my name is Kevin Thomas. I'm a U.S. Army veteran and nationally certified EMT. I'm going to talk to you today about bug out bags. This is also called a 72-hour bag or a get home bag. So it's just designed to get you home, back to all your equipment and a safe area. So this would be good for if you were lost in the woods, if there was a national disaster or something like that, or for some reason you had to leave your vehicle and hoof it home. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the 10 C's of survival, which is Dave Canterbury's kind of philosophy when it comes to survival. I think it's a really good one. It's the one I subscribe to, so that's what I'm going to tell you about today. The first C for survival is, of the 10 C's for survival, is cutting tool. So here we have a multi-tool. I think it's important to have a good quality multi-tool with you. That can be as little as a Swiss Army knife or as large as a full-size Leatherman. Also with that, I always want you to have a fixed blade knife in there. Something as small as the seal pup is usually legal in most areas. Check your local laws to see if it is. But that's a real good thing to have. The second C is combustion, or a combustion device. I subscribe to the good old Bic lighter. It works well, it's lightweight. Don't put an old one in there, put a brand new one in. This is a fancy Exotac case for a Bic lighter. It seals down on there. You can put a bungee on there and actually put that on your person so you won't lose it. My backup there is the Friendly Swede fire steel, or ferrocerium rod. Ferrocerium rod, excuse me. Great fire starter, works well. I'm a big subscriber to the Friendly Swede too. I think they make quality gear and everything like that. You're going to notice throughout this that I have two of everything. And in survival and in bug out bags and in any kind of prepping situation, preparing for the worst, two is one and one is none. So if you have two, at least you know one's going to work and you can kind of go from there. The third C is cover. And the cover I have here is a Titan emergency survival blanket or space blanket. I think they work really well. It's a quality one. The little 99-cent ones you can get are super flimsy. They will work in a situation, but don't ask them to work for more than one night. The other thing I always carry is, this is a U.S. Army poncho liner. We called them whoobies when I was in the Army. It's very warm. You can wrap yourself in it. You can create shade with it. It has these little ties on the edges. It just works really well. And combined with this, it can make a waterproof cover for you and give you some warmth too. The third thing is is a container. Talking a little bit about containers, water is extremely important. As your adrenaline starts flowing, if you're lost or you're in an emergency situation, the first thing that's going to happen is your palms are going to get a little sweaty, your heart rate's going to get up, and your mouth is going to get dry. And you're going to want something to be able to drink some water in. So I always carry a quart of water with me. I always carry a cup to boil fresh water in. Having stainless steel is always good because you can boil it, heat it up, sterilize anything you need. The fifth C of survival is cordage. Here I have some Titan survival cord. Obviously, I like Titan stuff. Titan's kind of unique. Normally a 550 paracord only has 7 strands. This one has 10. The 3 extra strands are wax jute for fire starting, monofilament line for fishing, and some thin wire for snare wire. And it works really well. You can break that down into some more uses there. The other thing we like, or I like, and so does Dave Canterbury, is waxed bank line. It's like tarred. You can break it down, use it to sew with, lots of different things. A very good thing to have on a regular basis. The sixth thing is cotton bandanas. I usually keep a couple of these in a pocket, a bag, wherever you want to keep it. But just having a bandana with you, I know it's something that our grandfathers and great-grandfathers did, but it's nice just to have a piece of cloth to maybe clean up with or wipe with or throw around your neck. If it's hot, you can put some water on it, it'll cool you off. The seventh thing is cargo tape. Now, you wouldn't think cargo tape would be like a survival tool or anything like that, but in the military, we called this 100-mile-an-hour tape because we used it so much it went like it was going 100 miles an hour. So you can do a couple different sizes, different colors. I like orange a lot because that's a safety color, an emergency color. So I can mark things with a small roll. And then with the big roll, I can repair things. I can tape up the survival blanket together. There's just tons of uses for that. These are all universal things that you can use in a lot of different ways. The eighth thing is a compass. So once again, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. In addition to a compass, and this is a military compass, a lensatic compass, very durable, very heavy duty. It's actually given to me by a veteran that came back from Iraq with that, so that was very cool. And then a small button compass, this would be something that you would put in your pocket so you wouldn't lose. In addition to a compass, I take it one step further. I'm here in Colorado Springs, so I have a Colorado Springs map. This is going to give me different areas of town and stuff like that. Maybe your cell phone is out of batteries. Maybe it's not working. But that's a good thing to have with you, just in case you need an alternate route or how to get around town so you don't get lost in some back roads or something like that. The ninth thing is a cotton sail needle. Now, you wouldn't think a sail needle is a big deal, but why? Yeah, I'm not making sails, whatever. But you can use this with the bank line to sew up canvas, tarps, anything like that, tents. It will go through leather, so if you need to repair something leather, it'll do that. In addition to this, I always usually have a little sewing kit too. I couldn't find mine today, but you know, little sewing kits are $1 at the dollar store. The very last thing is a candling device. I think that's a little bit of a stretch on how to use that 10th C, but basically it's a lighting device. I recommend 2 lighting devices. One is a handheld, some sort of flashlight. Maglite, Surefire, Phoenix with an F, F-E-N-I-X, are all great flashlights. But I also recommend you get some sort of headlamp. A headlamp is worth its weight in gold, and being able to adjust that up and down is a real big thing too, because you don't want to walk up to somebody and shine it right in their eyes. You can put it down a little bit, still have a conversation with them and not blind them. In addition to those things, a couple things I put in my bug out bag just kind of as a personal, I like to have items, are a couple power bars. I think power bars are great little energy bars, or your favorite energy bars, even if it's just a cookie bar or something like that, a breakfast bar. You know, whatever you want to put in there that would give you a little boost of energy, some sugar, hopefully some protein. That works really well. In my 72-hour bug out bag, I have 3 MREs, and I break these down. I open them up, break them down. I change them out once a year. Once this seal is broke, it doesn't last as long, but there's all kinds of niceties in here. A way for you to have a hot meal. You can usually get these at a military surplus store for about $10 a piece. Work really well. Lots of cool stuff in there. There's also some matches in there, toilet paper, some nice things to have if you're out in the woods. The very last thing I have in here is a first aid kit. Now, this is just a Hyundai first aid kit out of my car, and I just use the container. I set it up myself. But any personal medications you might have in there, a pair of rubber gloves in case there's an emergency with lots of blood. You don't want to be exposed to that. Some non-adherent pads, but personal medication and some personal protective equipment in there, or PPE, is always a good thing to have in there. I put this right in the top because if there's a medical emergency, I want that to be used right away. Be accessible right away, as I should say. All this would fit easily in any kind of backpack. This is a kind of a tactical looking backpack. This is a Gehrig, kind of a unique backpack. It has a bladder in there for water. This is a little more tactical than I like for being out and about, but just your average simple, you know, JanSport or day pack or something like this. This will draw a lot less attention to yourself than it will the tactical backpack. But if you put all that in there and you get into an emergency situation, most likely you're going to have something to help the situation and get you out of that jam. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't been to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it, and have a great day and be prepared.